Everyone, today I'm going to do a small review of the Pébéo Studio gouache. It did not come in this box originally. I believe the box was thrown away. Belongs to my mom, and while I'm at her house I decided to check it out. So it's a 10 tube set, and because it says studio, right away I kind of know that it's going to be a student grade. I checked online, and in Europe you can find it for about 10 euros for the set of 10, and they're all 20 mil tubes, I believe. Yes, 20 mil tubes. You can find it on Amazon in the US for about double this price, for about 20 bucks or something, because it's an import. Pébéo usually is a brand that you can find in Europe. On the box you could see this information that was cut out. There's a permanent white, a primary yellow. Sorry, you probably can hear the noise from a little doggy here who's about to take a nap. Sorry about that. There's a primary magenta, carmine, cobalt violet hue, primary cyan, emerald green, yellow ochre, burnt umber, and ivory black. I like that even though it's a studio or a student grade set, that it shows the opacity, so they're all supposed to be opaque because the little square is filled up, and also it shows the light fastness. So there's a variety. It goes from 1 star to 3 stars, and or number 1 all the way to number 3. So they're, yeah, really depending on which one you use, they'll be really light fast or not much at all. So I'm gonna do a swatch, and for that I'm going to use this paper. It's a Clairefontaine paint on multimedia paper that I picked up during an art supply haul in Paris, and I was going to use it with gouache, so that's perfect. And there's 40 sheets of paper. However, somebody decided to steal a lot of the sheets from me, and I end up, without even having tried it yet, with about half of the paper left. So I might go back to the store and get another one just in case. But for now, I'm going to do the swatch on this and see how well it works. Right off the bat like this, I can tell that they're not super great quality. They're pretty streaky, so I'm not sure what to think of them. They're, except for the yellow here, the primary yellow, the white, the yellow ochre, the burnt umber, and the black, that seem pretty nice and opaque and doesn't leave much streaks. The others seem a bit streaky and watery. I had to try to layer it with less water. I don't know. I'm gonna have to try to paint something with them. I think just without having painted anything with them right now, I'm thinking that if you're looking for student grade, something that's not very expensive, and if you're in the US, Arteza gouache would be better quality, I think. Again, only going by the swatches like this. Also in this set, I'm surprised that we have a blue. It's a primary cyan, but some kind of turquoise in a way, so I'm surprised it's not a more neutral type of blue. Other than that selection, the green is not very natural looking, but that's okay. It's a emerald green, so I'll see what I can do with this, and I hope I won't have to struggle too much. Unfortunately, I don't have my other gouache with me to compare the colors with. Yeah, I just don't know how much fun I'm going to have with these, but I'll try to paint something that's not too hard, that's not going to take too long, so I won't get too frustrated. Let's stick around, I'll see what I can paint. So after playing with them a tiny bit, while the white seems nice and opaque, I added a little bit of water and it re-wets really nicely. My concern with this paper, which is let's see, where'd it go, 115 pounds, which is not too bad for a mixed media paper. I'm not sure if I want to use this for a 140-pound watercolor paper. I might just go get that instead. So I ended up using my small block of Fabriano Artistico watercolor paper. It's 140 pounds and it's cold press. It turned out to be a fantastic choice. I really loved painting on it with the gouache. It takes the water really well, and really I love painting on blocks because it really prevents the water from buckling. Now, if there's one piece of advice I'd give you today, is that when you buy new art supplies, doing swatches is just not enough. Sometimes I've done swatches of pencils, for instance, and while the colors look nice and bright, when you use them and paint or draw something with them, you might just not like them. The colors might not look the same way, or they might not blend very well. So just doing swatches won't tell you how well the supplies work and how good they are. To get a really good feel of your supplies, the only way is to just try them and draw or paint something with them. And that's why whenever I do an art supplies review video, I always paint something, just so that you can see what it looks like and I can tell you how it felt to use them. And I'm glad I did it with this gouache, because let me tell you, the swatches looked fine. Like I said earlier, some of the colors were a bit streaky, but they pretty buttery-ish. They blend together pretty well, but I was very surprised with the selection of the colors. It was really hard for me to mix them together so that I could find the right green that I wanted for the cactus. I tried mixing colors several times and adding layers to the cactus part. I really couldn't find the right mix. As far as the flower is concerned, again, I was disappointed because when I did the swatches, the colors looked pretty vibrant, but I had a very hard time again making those oranges and yellows really pop. It seems like my mixes looked a bit muddy or translucent. I don't know. I really was struggling with the petals of the flower. And later on, what I decided to do was to add just layers of white and then add the colors on top of the white so that the colors would pop a little bit more. That's the only way I found to make the colors pop a little bit more than they did originally. So yeah, I did struggle using this brand. I'm probably spoiled because I'm used to using a nicer brand, the M Gram or the Winsor & Newton gouache, and I knew that using a student grade wouldn't be as enjoyable, so I was kind of prepared. But I'm glad that I ended up using a very nice quality paper because it made it a little bit easier, and it helped me want to push it all the way till I was done with the painting. So if I couldn't afford an artist grade paint, would I use this brand? I don't know. I didn't enjoy it very much. I would say that for about the same price, or actually less in the US, I would buy the Arteza brand, which has a lot more colors. This one only has 10, and I didn't think they were as creamy as the Arteza. The Arteza blends very well, and I really enjoyed using them actually. So I took a break from painting my cactus flower, and when I got back to it, the paint was dry, which is normal for gouache, and it was a perfect opportunity to find out if they re-wet well, and they actually do. So all in all, they have all the normal characteristics of gouache paint. If you're using the colors that are a bit more streaky, just use a bit less water. That would help make the paint a bit thicker, and you won't see any lines, and it'll be a little bit more opaque. If you can buy another brand, I would buy another brand. But then again, you know, you might like them more than I did. So that's it for my review. I hope you found it interesting. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you soon. Have a wonderful day. Bye bye.